Biafra Alpha Power Media International. Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
My father, don't you worry. If I happen to die in a battlefield, never mind, we shall meet again.
IPOB,
one family.
IPOB,
One family.
IPOB,
One family.
IPOB,
One family.
one family,
IPOB.
one family.
IPOB.
At least I don't hear two families and all three families. Indivisible family.
IPOB.
Indivisible family.
IPOB.
Indefatigable family.
IPOB.
Ana one area.
Elena kanyo, Elena kanyo,
Akanyiri kwa ọcha lela kanyo. Elulala lela kanyo. Akanyiri kwa ọcha lela kanyo. Elulala lela kanyo. Yes.
All hail Biafra.
Oh, hey, Biafra.
IPOB.
One family.
IPOB.
One family.
One family.
IPOB.
Thank you very much. I want to thank you all for being here. Like I said before, if my mouth or my body is filled with mouth, is made of mouth, it will not be enough to say thank you. You are wonderful people, and I can't thank you enough. I want to say thank you for being here, for having this made possible. I want to also thank you. I want to also thank the UK zonal coordinators who are here. I may not know your names individually, but I want to say thank you. And all other UK serving officials, I want to say thank you to you for being here. IPOB. And I'm sure we know about the saying that says that the sticks that are in bundles, that are sticks in bundles, are very, very difficult to break. But if we decide to divide ourselves into, get a stick or a broomstick and divide it into 10 sticks, we will still be broken. So it is very important that we stay as one. Like they say in Okwu-Kanu, thank you. So I can tell you my problems, and I can tell you my problems, and I can tell my problems to everybody. It's still my problem. Some people would help you to pass on messages or get one or two things for you, but it is still your problem. I remember falling off the stairs some time ago, and there was nobody to call. I thought I died, but I waited for a few minutes, and I thought, I'm alive. And I touched myself, so okay, I'm still alive. And the little one was sat there by the stairs. Today I knew that God has a purpose, which is yet to be fulfilled. As we're running against time, I would proceed straight to what I have to say here. I'm just here to reiterate to us the importance of being one, the importance of unity. But sometimes when I get upset, it is not that I'm upset, it is out of frustrations because people already know what you're already saying. So what is the problem? How did we get here? It could be ignorance. It could be not being completely sure. Please, I want everybody to sit down, please, because I have something very important to say.
Everybody sit down.
As you may know, I'm not a very, I don't know if you know that I'm not on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, but not active due to certain issues. But as Mazi said, social media razzmatazz, we get carried away and deceived by what we see on social media. The people who are trying to distract us may not even be this amount in real life, but they try to create a picture to make you believe that they are bigger than we are. But this is IPOB on the Mazi Nnamdi, and that is why I'm here today. As I alluded during my interview, on Saturday the 3rd of September 2022, I will repeat it again. The importance of being unified. If we are not in unity, we will not get what we want. I try to speak in a very concise and precise tone and use words and use analogies, because over time I have come to realize that listeners sometimes may not regurgitate what someone said or be able to recapitulate what you said. So analogies are found to cover that, erode every misalignment of context for me, and erode every intentions that might be misconstrued. So, if we are in unity, we will have no distractors coming to infiltrate or cause us issues. Right now, the most important thing is for us to work for the release of our Onyendu, our leader, Mazi Nnamdi. And each and every one of us here is doing their bit. Every one of us here, being here, is also doing your bit. Going to rallies, I was told about the rally that women did in the UK, I think last year. I was pretty ill, quite ill, very ill. After the funeral of my mom till ending of July 2022, that's when I started to speak without losing my breath. But who would know? Who would know? Nobody. So, and something I learned from my husband is this: I do what is right, and I cannot tell you everything that I'm doing, because this is not Igbo meeting, this is freedom fighting. Yes. And some people don't understand the security issues surrounding this very movement. So they sit down in their houses and they type behind a laptop or phone or whatever it is they use and call names. If you know Mazi Nnamdi very much, you would know that I would be at least a little bit like him. So, yes. So when you're done talking and insulting yourselves, you log off and then go home or sleep or something. But my problem remains that my husband comes out, justice for all the innocent Biafrans that the Nigerian government had murdered. With all due respect to the Queen, and God bless her departed soul, it is now left for the living royal family to seek restitution. Yes. For what they've done to us. With all the games they played during the Biafran War or the Nigerian Civil War, which we all know that is not something I'm here to teach us about. So at times like this, that is when the enemy wakes up to say, now I've been targeting this very movement. First of all, Nnamdi Kanu's mission is divine. People have not come to realize that. It is divine. It is what God has ordained for him. It is his purpose. Imam Melia. You can't do it. Imam Melia.
Yahweh be purenu ya computer. Yahweh be ya soba. Yahweh be purenu ya computer. Bomari changwa chineke robodani kodozi obodani kamona gebiri bendo. IPOB. One family. One family. One family. IPOB.
I'm happy I'm here.
Hallelujah.
This is what gives me strength. Just the thought that we are all here or gathered somewhere. I do get updates and I continue to pray for God to strengthen you all. So, like I was saying, this is a divine call. So if someone sees how we gather in different zones and countries and thought, I can do this, why not? You can't. I promise you, you cannot. I promise you, you cannot. Having said that, at times such as this, during trials and tribulations, that is when some certain things go awry, some certain plans, and that is when you see the people for who they are. The analogy that I will use today would be, for example, I don't want to use Nigeria because nothing actually works there. So I would use where we are. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we all know what we were going through at that time. But Patel, the Home Secretary, decided at that time to get a third hearing at the House of Commons to strip people of their citizenship, the UK citizenship, without notice. That very move, of course, when someone thinks of something, they try and whisper evil to other people to see who would come with them and whisper and say, this is what I have at heart. I mean, in my mind, this is what I'm thinking. Would you come with me? And the person, being someone who already has a very evil heart, will have no problem joining her. But what was that move? That move was against Magna Carta. Magna Carta simply means freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of... It's a royal right, which was agreed to by King John of England, I think in 1215. And that very document still stands as a form of symbol of liberty. It influenced the American colonists. It influenced them in the 13 colonies, and that also formed the or was also founded, or was a formation, or was founded upon, or the American Constitution was also founded upon that very document. And that is what, that same document is the strength of the poor and common people in this country. So everyone is free to express, free to speak. But someone in the midst of COVID pandemic decided to take that away from us, or strip you of your citizenship without you knowing. However she came up with that, I have no idea. Fast forward that to this very moment. We are crying that our people are being killed back home. Innocent blood are being spilled. And our dear Onyendu is in the dungeon of the DSS. My brother-in-law called me after my interview and he said something about what I said. And he said, did you know that someone called me and said that Onyendu's mind is no longer with him? I said, wow. So it was a good thing that I went to see him. So it's a good thing that I was able to tell the people that he's mentally strong. Because I said something. He was asking me a lot of things and I thought, I'd forgotten them because I have so much that I worry about and think about and cry about. And he reminded me of all that. So he's mentally sound. You can misconstrue it, you can twist it. I don't care. So fast forward this very issue to this very moment. The infiltrators, distractors, they decide to come to one and few people and said to them, we are automatic pilots. Is it? Automated pilots. Automated pilots. Okay, yeah, autopilots. Yeah. Autopilots. Okay. If Patel's intentions were pure, she would have raised that at the House of Commons when, in the open, she would have raised that up and everyone would speak. But she tried to do it when people weren't focusing. So underline the word focus. And being at alert. So when we sleep, the Bible says that when the farmer sleeps at night, the enemy goes and plants his own seed. Yes. And it's in plastic. So I try to get teachings from every part of every corner of the world, and I unify it into one. So you decide to play on the pain that the people are going through. And you say you are autopilot, yeah.
She has said it.
Now, I mean, if the people back home can hear me, maybe the little kids who've not been able to fly or to board a plane. When we go on board a plane and whilst we're going through the checks, you can see the cabin crews and the pilots and the rest of them in their uniform going. They go first. They go through first, and we all then follow afterwards and then board. And whilst we're on the plane, I think they do mention the altitude they're taking off on. So whilst we're on the plane, we're airborne, and then something happened. There's always a pilot and a co-pilot, and the cabin crews who would tell us something going on, or when you should sit and when you shouldn't, when you should have your seatbelt on, and the rest of it. So, but in a nutshell, we're all on the plane, and someone says from the back seat, "I've switched on the autopilot button." Having gotten on the plane via the baggage area, the carriage area, having been on the plane through the bag, says they've switched on the autopilot. How can you do that when you don't even have access to the cockpit? You don't have access to the cockpit. The pilot and the co-pilot are in the cockpit. The only people who can actually access that very cockpit are the cabin crews, who are the national UK coordinator and the likes of him, and all the serving officials. They are the cabin crews. And we follow instructions. When they say put your seatbelt on, you do. When they say take it off, you take it off.
Yes.
And then when they say we are going into turbulence, sit down. You sit. You sit until they tell you it's time to take off your seatbelt. So now the person who has no access to the cockpit, who's actually sitting at the back and shouting, we've seen some movies that usually that happens by someone who wants to hijack the plane. It's a character of a hijacker. And it's criminal. You can call me names or what, I don't really care. The only thing that bothers me is for my husband to be free.
He will. IPOB! IPOB! He shall be free. Yes.
He is the pilot, and he has his co-pilot,
Yes.
and he has his cabin crew, and he has us who are his followers who are on the plane. So we must not allow anybody have access to that cockpit.
At all.
Like crash. So the other person who would join the person who wants to hijack the plane is the person who actually boarded the plane without knowing where they were going to in the first place.
Yes.
They just mistakenly boarded the plane going to Owerri instead of Abuja. So once they are done, the hijacker comes and says, I have access to the cockpit and I've switched on the autopilot. And he goes, what plane is this again? And the autopilot will say, it's going to Owerri. And he would say, all right, since it's a wrong plane, I shouldn't be here, but I'll join you anyway. So these are the people who want to hijack the plane. If you understand the teachings of Nnamdi, and you understand the purpose for which we gather in the first place, and you remember the people who laid down their lives in the hope that we will get to our destiny. If you understand that, then you can't be confused. You shouldn't be. And let's forget about the picture painted on social media where you think that there are many of them. They just continue to whisper into ears to see who would be converted. But we must remain strong. That is what I'm here to say. I will always try and be with you wherever you're going for rally if I am made aware in time. And I need to panic. Because Amanda needs it. Amanda needs it. And we shouldn't be killing ourselves. We should love ourselves. But if your brother, whom you love, wants to ruin you because you want to have a communication, a relationship with him. You will still have love for him, but you would step back, withdraw yourself. We don't hate anybody, but we don't want anybody to destroy what we have suffered for. We went through this very situation in 2015, 2016, so we can do it again. And better this time. Better this time. Say better this time. We will come out better this time. And stronger. Stronger than we've ever been. We are all over the world. We are everywhere. So I don't think anybody can defeat us.
Our leader said it will take them 100 years.
And that is my strength. You are my strength. You are the reason I wake up and I said yes. Nnamdi Kanu has his people behind him. Because without you, well, without all of you here, and the rest of us who are not here, I wouldn't be where I am today. I probably wouldn't be in a mental hospital.
What for what?
Yes, absolutely. But because we have you, we are stronger. We are better. We are richer. We are wider. You can twist that. We are richer. You can twist it. And that is what I mean by we are richer. Just in case you think I mean money. And you will be okay.
You are our strength.
Yes, sir.
Mazi Nnamdi is happy with what we are doing, and he wants us to continue. Like I said, alluded in my interview, all the case and everything is out there in the open, so I may not be able to say too much regarding that. But you can see that God has answered our prayers, and the very date has been brought forward to next week. Are you with Mary?
Yes.
We always win.
We always win. We are IPOB and we always
Win.
thank you.
Holy, Nnamdi Kanu is another savior.
IPOB,
One family.
IPOB.
One family.
Biafra Alpha Power Media International.